Second house or Kutumba Bhava for Taurus rising, part 1. For Taurus rising, the second house is ruled by Mercury, bringing mental acuity, speech finesse, and commercial instinct into the domain of family, food, and finances. Taurus, an earth sign ruled by Venus, finds its stability complemented by Mercury's swift adaptability, resulting in a personality that instinctively conserves but can flex and trade when needed. The Kutumba Bhava becomes a blend of sensual inheritance and intellectual resourcefulness. These natives value what they can touch and articulate, making speech and savings their pillars of self-worth. Mercury governs communication, memory, and logic. Its rulership over the second house imbues Taurus ascendants with practical intelligence around earning and expressing values. These natives often come from families where language, education, or business acumen was emphasized. Their speech is typically measured, pleasant, and persuasive, especially when Mercury is strong. However, when afflicted, this same speech becomes anxious, overly analytical, or overly transactional, expressing emotional discomfort through sarcasm or hyper-rational detachment. In terms of wealth, Mercury here indicates gains through intellectual labor, teaching, trading, writing, communication, finance, and skilled services. The native often earns steadily, gradually building reliable streams of income. Since Taurus is inherently possessive and Mercury is clever, this produces an instinct to accumulate not only money, but also knowledge that can convert to value. These natives usually develop clear, calculative awareness about where their efforts yield the best returns. Family, for Taurus rising, plays a formative role in shaping thought and speech patterns. Mercury's influence may mean siblings, cousins, or maternal relatives are closely tied to early resources. The native may grow up amidst practical caretakers, traders, or educators. Communication within the family is often structured or expectation-laden, producing children who learn to speak with tact or to withhold feelings in favor of diplomacy. The emotional undercurrent in the Kutumba is not loud. It's cerebral, behavioral, or value-coded. Physically, the second house governs the face, throat, teeth, and vocal organs. With Mercury here, Taurus risings often have symmetrical facial features, clear skin, or quick expressive movements. Their voice tends to be rhythmic, articulate, or refined, with a possible nasal edge or high pitch if Mercury is overactive. Since Taurus rules the mouth and Mercury the tongue, speech becomes a defining feature of presence. They may be skilled at mimicry, storytelling, or debate, often exhibiting sharp, context-aware wit. The second house is active during ages 2, 14, 26, 38, 50, 62, and 74. These years often involve financial redefinition, familial learning, or shifts in self-esteem. At age 14, their cognitive identity differentiates from family voice. By 26, they begin converting intellect into income. By 38, their words gain authority and income often stabilizes. These cycles refine how they use intelligence and language to shape their material and relational world. Psychologically, the Kutumba Bhava for Taurus rising creates a foundational belief that what one says and earns is tied to one's worth. The native may strive to sound correct or competent, sometimes at the cost of emotional truth. This can result in perfectionistic communication or an internal critic that mimics family voices. They learn early to negotiate their needs within spoken and unspoken rules, which may later make it hard to express vulnerability. Real growth begins when they recognize that warmth and wit are not mutually exclusive. At their best, Taurus ascendants with a balanced Mercury in the second house use speech as service, whether through teaching, advising, or creatively articulating grounded wisdom. Their words stabilize others. Their money habits are guided by rational value systems. When imbalanced, they become cynical traders of language, either hoarding their voice or using it manipulatively. Their evolution lies in embracing both the mental and sensual in Kutumba Bhava, learning that true wealth is not just what they accumulate, but how fluently they connect through word, worth, and wisdom. Conjunctions in second house or Kutumba Bhava for Taurus: part Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Ketu, co-ruler of 7th. Mercury governs both Kutumba, 2nd house, and intelligence, creativity, 5th, while Ketu brings 7th house detachment and past life residue into speech and family karma. The result is a native whose voice feels otherworldly, disconnected from emotion, yet hauntingly insightful. Family bonds may be intellectual, but emotionally distant. The person may speak in fragments, riddles, or sudden silences, struggling to express personal needs. Since the 2nd, 5th, and 7th houses all relate to bonding by blood, intellect, or partnership, this conjunction can isolate the native within relational spaces unless supported by Moon or Venus. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Mars, 7th and 12th Lord. Here, Mercury's quick wit meets Mars's volatile drive. Mars rules the 7th, relationships, and 12th, losses, creating a tense fusion of verbal sharpness and confrontational passion. The native speech becomes assertive, sarcastic, or combative. They often grow up in families where debates, conflicts, or criticism were normalized. Financially, this combination leads to risk-taking through trading or competition. The 12th house influence may create expenditure through hasty speech or impulsive investments. In relationships, verbal battles are frequent unless Mars is pacified through Jupiter or Moon support. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Saturn, 9th and 10th Lord. This conjunction merges intellect and speech, Mercury with duty, authority, and delay Saturn. Since Saturn rules both Dharma 9th and Karma 10th, the family voice often becomes moralistic or responsibility-laden. Speech is slow, serious, and factual. There may be a hesitancy or repression in communication until later maturity. Financially, this indicates long-term gain through structured thinking, law, administration, or teaching. Family may instill a stoic worldview, and self-worth becomes tied to moral discipline and social duty. This leads to a calm, wise, but sometimes emotionally stiff persona. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Rahu, co-ruler of 8th. When Mercury unites with Rahu, the shadow ruler of sudden upheaval, 8th house, speech becomes dramatic, provocative, or strategic. There's a cunning brilliance in expression, often used in marketing, media, or manipulation. The native may come from a family with secrets, taboos, or social ambitions. Communication becomes a tool for power. Self-worth may fluctuate between inflated intellect and secret shame. Financial gains may arise from speculative or foreign sources, but come with instability. The personality is mentally restless, with an obsessive edge that sharpens both wit and paranoia. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Moon, 3rd Lord. This gentle and intuitive pairing unites communication, 2nd, memory, 5th, and effort, sibling karma, 3rd. The native is emotionally articulate, expressive, and affectionate in speech. They likely grew up in a communicative household, with strong bonds to siblings or the mother's family. Writing, teaching, singing, or counseling often emerge as natural gifts. However, moods may dictate clarity. When the moon fluctuates, so does confidence in expression. Family memories are vivid and can shape self-worth for better or worse. Integration of emotional and verbal intelligence defines this personality's arc. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord. With Venus, 1st and 6th Lord. Venus rules the self, 1st, and daily struggles, 6th, joining Mercury's logic and speech. The native speaks with charm, refinement, and persuasive elegance. They often blend beauty and intellect, working in media, design, education, or diplomacy. The 6th house brings service or conflict themes into speech. While tone is soft, content may challenge others subtly. Relationships may involve wordplay, flirting, or debates. Their personality is attractive yet calculating, a mix of sweetness and precision. Financially, this is excellent for professions that combine aesthetics and intellect. Mercury, 2nd and 5th Lord, with Sun, 4th Lord. This joins intellect and identity, Mercury, with emotional anchoring and family pride, Sun as 4th Lord. The native speaks with authority, warmth, or idealism. Family traditions or education play a big role in shaping self-worth. The voice may command attention, especially in public speaking, teaching, or leadership roles. However, ego and logic may clash, leading to over-rationalization of feelings or emotionally tone-deaf expression. The personality shines in positions where clarity, confidence, and cultural values intersect, yet requires humility to remain accessible. These conjunctions in Taurus rising 2nd house reveal how early value systems, speech patterns, and emotional wiring intersect with intelligence, ego, or unconscious habits. The placement of Mercury as both the 2nd and 5th Lord ensures that voice and mind are deeply entwined. Every planetary guest alters not just what they say, but how they think about what matters. 2nd house or Bhava for Virgo rising, part 1. For Virgo rising, the 2nd house falls in Libra, ruled by Venus. Virgo, an earth sign ruled by Mercury, brings refinement, service, and precision as its core operating style. But when it comes to the Kutumba, the realm of speech, values, food, and family, the influence is Venusian, relational, aesthetic, and balance-seeking. This produces a personality that is humble on the surface, but deeply sensitive to disharmony and social perception within close environments. While Virgo seeks to fix and analyze, Libra in the second house seeks to smooth and beautify. Venus ruling the second house makes speech graceful, diplomatic, and often artistically or emotionally pleasing. Virgo risings often speak with poise and a concern for fairness, though their delivery can still be factual and composed. This blend of Mercury-Venus influence enables them to be charmingly rational, articulate with a soft touch. When Venus is well placed, speech becomes a bridge for peacekeeping or aesthetic expression. If afflicted, it can lead to passive-aggressive tendencies, sugarcoating, or indirect resentment expressed through tone rather than content. Family conditioning is usually centered around civility, appearances, or the importance of harmony. The family may have emphasized politeness, beauty, or social grace, even at the expense of emotional authenticity. Virgo risings may have learned to smooth over conflict early in life to maintain equilibrium within the family system. There is often a subtle pressure to look good, speak well, or keep the peace, which can lead to suppressed irritation or inner conflict between service, Virgo, and fairness, Libra. Financially, Venus in the second house brings gains through aesthetics, relationships, art, or diplomacy. Virgo ascendants may find success in law, design, fashion, counseling, or roles requiring balance, taste, and tact. They often possess refined earning skills and a calculated but elegant approach to spending. They can be shrewd investors or collectors with a sense of understated luxury. However, their self-worth can become entangled with approval from others, especially in how they're perceived or whether their contributions are appreciated. Physically, the second house governs the face, throat, mouth, and voice. Venus here gives pleasant facial symmetry, soft features, and a gentle tone of voice. Virgo risings with Libra in the second may be particularly conscious of their appearance, grooming, and how their voice lands on others. Speech is careful, tactful, and designed not to offend. If imbalanced, this can lead to throat or vocal issues tied to emotional suppression or overeating tied to emotional compensation. This house is activated during ages 2, 14, 26, 38, 50, 62, and 74, each marking key turning points around how the native speaks, earns, or relates to their foundational values. At 14, they may internalize early family dynamics around diplomacy or appearance. At 26, relational expectations may drive financial decisions. At 38, they may reevaluate self-worth independent of social approval. Each cycle tests the integration of external refinement with internal alignment. Psychologically, the Kutumba Bhava for Virgo rising reveals a subtle anxiety beneath the polished surface. There is a lifelong pattern of wanting to be both right, Virgo, and liked, Libra, which can cause indecision or quiet resentment. The native often suppresses emotional messiness in favor of relational peace, which eventually leads to internal exhaustion. Learning to voice discontent with grace and to honor inner values over collective aesthetics becomes a major evolutionary path. At their best, Virgo ascendants with Venus ruling the second house become peacemakers, graceful advisors, or artists of speech. People who bring order and harmony to the material and relational world. Their values are refined and fair, their speech elegant and measured. When imbalanced, they may prioritize form over feeling or harmony over truth. Their evolution lies in learning that beauty doesn't require silence, and that being real is not the opposite of being refined. Conjunctions in second house, or Kutumba Bhava for Virgo: Mercury, 1st and 10th Lord, with Ketu, co-ruler of 6th. Mercury's analytical mind merges with Ketu's disinterest and inward pull, producing a speaker who communicates in crisp, sparse, or cryptic terms. The native may detach from mundane dialogue, preferring silence or deep philosophical themes. In family life, there may have been a communication gap, either absent parenting or emotional undercurrents never spoken aloud. Financially, skills may be undervalued or left undeveloped until later life. The personality appears intelligent but reserved, often misunderstood, yet strangely compelling in minimalist expression. Jupiter, 4th and 7th Lord, with Saturn, 5th and 6th Lord. This conjunction brings together emotional grounding, 4th, partnership ethics, 7th, discipline, 6th, and structured intelligence, 5th. Speech becomes slow, serious, and guided by moral or karmic weight. The family environment may have emphasized responsibility, service, or restraint in affection. The native often expresses themselves only after careful thought. Professionally, this supports law, teaching, or bureaucracy, any field requiring principled thinking. The personality is dutiful, methodical, and wise beyond their years, but must learn to soften inner rigidity and allow creative ease. Rahu, co-ruler of 12th with Moon, 11th Lord. This conjunction creates an emotionally dramatic and socially hungry communicator. Rahu inflates desires, and the Moon governs emotional gains, leading to expressive, persuasive, and emotionally intense speech. The native may be well known for their voice or persona, especially in public-facing careers. However, moods may dominate logic, and emotional highs and lows influence speech patterns. The family may have had unpredictable emotional climates or an emphasis on public appearance. The personality thrives on recognition, but must anchor their emotional body to avoid emotional volatility masking as ambition. Mars, 3rd and 8th Lord, with Sun, 12th Lord. Here, the drive of Mars fuses with the egoic isolation of the Sun. The result is an intense, often solitary communicator, passionate yet guarded. The native may speak with force or finality, sometimes intimidating in tone. Family life may have been secretive, emotionally volatile, or shaped by unspoken power dynamics. Finances may come through forceful effort or behind-the-scenes roles. There is often an urge to protect one's values or beliefs at all costs. The personality feels courageous and private, prone to strategic withdrawal but capable of profound impact. Moon, 11th Lord, with Saturn, 5th and 6th Lord. This pairing compresses emotion, Moon, under Saturn's weight. Speech is emotionally restrained, soft-spoken, or melancholic. The family may have been emotionally cold or expected the native to be the responsible one. The voice carries sincerity but may lack spontaneous joy. Financially, gains come steadily through consistent emotional labor, such as caregiving, healthcare, or routine service professions. The personality often bears silent emotional burdens and seeks affection through duty. Over time, their presence becomes emotionally grounding for others, though they must consciously release inherited emotional austerity. Rahu, co-ruler of 12th with Jupiter, 4th and 7th Lord. Rahu amplifies Jupiter's teachings, sometimes distorting them into dogma, charisma, or idealistic obsession. Speech becomes grand, visionary, even exaggerated. The family may have emphasized moral stature or public influence, but the native feels a gap between projected values and lived truths. This is a placement of charismatic preachers, controversial advisors, or philosophical rebels. Financially, there's potential for windfalls in education, law, or global platforms, but values may be inflated beyond what's practiced. The personality is impressive, expansive, and ideal-driven, but must learn discernment between truth and projection. Second house, or Kutumba Bhava for Capricorn rising, part 1. For Capricorn rising, the second house falls in Aquarius, ruled by Saturn and co-ruled by Rahu. Capricorn itself is grounded, disciplined, and status-aware, but its Kutumba, the realm of family, speech, and values, is filtered through Aquarius, a sign of innovation, detachment, and collective vision. This creates a personality that appears traditional on the outside, but harbors unconventional or progressive values deep within. The native may speak conservatively, but think in highly original terms, often processing life through a mix of emotional distance and social responsibility. Saturn's rulership over both the ascendant and the second house reinforces the themes of restraint and maturity in speech and self-worth. These natives speak with measured authority, often calm, deliberate, and free from excessive emotion. When well placed, Saturn in the second house gives structured, wise speech that reflects integrity and long-term thinking. When afflicted, however, it can produce communication that is cold, overly critical, or burdened by pessimism. Co-ruler Rahu adds sudden shifts, eccentricity, or fascination with taboo or futuristic language, leading to a paradox where their words may be emotionally detached but conceptually provocative. Family conditioning for Capricorn risings is often marked by duty, responsibility, and emotional restraint. But with Aquarius in the second house, there is frequently an undercurrent of nonconformity within the family, an eccentric elder shifting household roles, or a lineage focused more on ideas than intimacy. The native may have been expected to uphold structure while quietly being exposed to unconventional thinking. This results in someone who internalizes values through social observation rather than emotional bonding, and who often feels simultaneously connected to and apart from their family. Financially, Saturn and Rahu's co-rulership over the second house supports earnings through slow, strategic means, Saturn, and breakthrough unconventional paths, Rahu. Capricorn risings often earn through fields involving networks, systems, research, technology, or governance. Their relationship with money is rational and future-oriented. They prefer investments that yield results over time. However, Rahu's influence can occasionally bring speculative decisions or financial highs and lows, especially if ego or obsession drives their strategy. When well integrated, they become long-term wealth builders who innovate within traditional frameworks. Physically, Aquarius in the second house gives a distinctive or striking face, often sharp cheekbones, high foreheads, or unique eyes. The voice is even-toned, intelligent, and may carry a cool or analytical quality. These natives often develop communication styles that are precise, idea-driven, or socially aware. They are less likely to use emotionally expressive speech and more likely to offer insight, critique, or unexpected observations. Eating habits may be irregular or experimental, often reflecting their nervous energy or engagement with trends. The second house activates at ages 2, 14, 26, 38, 50, 62, and 74, each cycle pushing the native to refine their speech, values, or family identity. At 14, they may become aware of familial ideologies or begin resisting conventional speech patterns. At 26, they may seek income through intellectual independence. At 38, legacy becomes important, what they stand for intellectually and materially. Each phase challenges them to merge traditional effort with evolving social contexts. Psychologically, the Kutumba Bhava for Capricorn rising reveals a deep-seated desire to belong intellectually rather than emotionally. The native often grows up learning to observe rather than react, to plan instead of express. While this produces great control over speech and resources, it can also result in inner disconnection from emotional needs. Their values often prioritize collective welfare or visionary systems over personal comforts, but beneath the impersonal tone lies a longing to be truly understood. At their best, Capricorn risings with Aquarius in the second house become voices for innovation, structure, and social transformation. They earn respect for speaking responsibly yet insightfully, grounded in systems yet open to change. When imbalanced, they may suppress emotional truths or struggle with isolation masked by professionalism. Their evolution lies in learning that structure does not require emotional distance, and that values can be both stable and visionary when integrated with authenticity. Conjunctions in second house or Kutumba Bhava for Capricorn Part 2, all conjunctions except with Saturn or Rahu. Mercury, 6th and 9th Lord with Ketu. This pairing produces a sharp yet reserved communicator. Mercury governs logic and belief. Ketu severs attachment to form. The native may speak with dry precision, sudden silence, or philosophical ambiguity. Family values are shaped by karmic detachment, often leaving the native intellectually isolated in their formative years. Financial gains may come through research, editing, or spiritual instruction, but without attachment to recognition. The personality is reflective, mentally alert, and difficult to influence, seeking truth beyond convention. Mars, 4th and 11th Lord, with Moon, 7th Lord. Mars adds force and ambition. Moon brings emotional and relational tone. Speech is driven by emotional instinct and assertive undercurrents. The native may speak passionately, sometimes impulsively, especially in partnerships or emotional confrontations. Family life likely involves strong-willed caregivers or fluctuating emotional dynamics. Financially, this supports gains through real estate, public relations, or emotionally charged leadership. The personality is intense, reactive, and relational, often defending both home and ideals with emotional heat. Mars, 4th and 11th Lord, with Venus, 5th and 10th Lord. A potent blend of passion, strategy, beauty, and power. Mars governs ambition and networks. Venus adds aesthetics, creativity, and status. Speech is charming yet forceful, persuasive with an edge. Family life may revolve around love, control, or prestige, with undertones of competition or image consciousness. Financially, this is favorable for public careers, arts, performance, or luxury entrepreneurship. The personality is socially magnetic, creative, and commanding, desiring recognition without compromising strength. Mars, 4th and 11th Lord, with Mercury, 6th and 9th Lord. This conjunction produces a highly driven and technically sharp communicator. Mars fuels initiative, Mercury provides analytical refinement. Speech is assertive, strategic, and suited to debate, planning, or critical negotiation. Family may encourage intellectual independence and task-focused discipline. Financial gains come from consulting, law, project management, or education. The personality is intellectually combative, quick to act, and goal-oriented, often working best under pressure and with a clear mission. Sun, 8th Lord, with Mercury, 6th and 9th Lord. Sun brings authority and crisis, 8th. Mercury offers intellect and ethics, 6th, 9th. Speech is precise, probing, and ethically aware, used to question hidden systems or challenge dogma. The native may speak in a calculated or investigative tone. Family legacy may involve intellectual inheritance and deep karmic contracts. Financial outcomes linked to research, healing, or transformative teaching roles. The personality is principled, observant, and mentally intense, always seeking what lies beneath spoken words. Sun, 8th Lord with Moon, 7th Lord. A psychologically complex pairing. The Sun governs ego and hidden transformation. The Moon governs emotional bonding and public connection. Speech may oscillate between radiant expression and emotional withdrawal. The native may come from a family of fluctuating authority or polarity between masculine and feminine energies. Partnerships play a key role in shaping speech and values. Financial matters are influenced by relationships, inheritances, or emotional investments. The personality is magnetic, sensitive, and emotionally layered, often caught between needing visibility and fearing exposure. Sun, 8th Lord, with Venus, 5th and 10th Lord. This pairing joins status, power, and transformation. Sun, with beauty, creativity, and career, Venus. The native speaks with elegance and gravity, often drawing attention through charm and confidence. Family life may involve ambition, image, or emotional hierarchy. Financial gains come through leadership in arts, fashion, luxury, or public roles. The personality is charismatic, refined, and success-driven, prone to navigating emotional power dynamics with poise and flair. Venus, 5th and 10th Lord, with Moon, 7th Lord. A soft yet influential combination. Venus lends refinement and ambition. Moon adds relational sensitivity. Speech is melodious, affectionate, and socially tuned, suited for diplomacy, art, or public life. Family nurtures emotional expression and creative development. Financial success emerges from creative industries, media, or women-centered enterprises. The personality is graceful, emotionally intelligent, and socially aware, balancing public poise with private vulnerability. Venus, 5th and 10th Lord, with Mercury, 6th and 9th Lord, combines creativity, duty, intellect, and belief. The voice becomes tactful, elegant, and strategic, excellent for teaching, branding, or advisory roles. The family may emphasize moral refinement and intellectual culture. Financially favorable for education, writing, and consultancy within beauty, wellness, or legal frameworks. The personality is graceful yet clever, motivated by idealism shaped through service and polished self-expression.